I want to retract something that I said on the very first video I did for Dying Light 2. It's just not true. I said if you like Dying Light 1, you'll like Dying Light 2. And I feel like if you go in with that mentality, I think you're going to be kind of disappointed. Something that becomes very clear in the opening hours of Dying Light 2 is that it's not really trying to be as much of an action game as that first game was. And it's really like leaning in on its RPG elements. So in order to level up, you want to be doing all the side missions and quests and stuff like that, because in an RPG, that is what you do to level up. Otherwise, you're going to feel like the grind is going on forever. And I can understand that, why a lot of people are making this complaint. But the grind for me didn't really take that long, because like I said, I wanted to do the side missions. Now, keep in mind, I haven't done all the side missions. I deliberately stopped at a point because I did run into a bug. We have to be honest here. It's to do with a mission called Double Time. I'd finished the mission, and then when I'd fire the game back up after shutting it down, it would come up saying track double time, and it's like, wait a second, I've done that mission. So I did it again, completed it, shut the game off, fired the game back up, the mission was back. So that is a bug in the game. I have to be clear with that. There are bugs in the game, but other than that, I've run into a few like sound issues here and there, but nothing game breaking. It's just that double time one that's messed up. So I thought, what's the point in even going for 100% trying to do all side missions when the game's not even going to register it? So I left it. The game took about 30 something hours, I want to say, for the main campaign. I don't want to go higher than that, because my game time, at least from what the Xbox told me, was 50 odd hours. It was, which isn't accurate. I know it isn't accurate, but I want to say about 30 plus hours for the main campaign alone, because I did do a lot of side content. I didn't do everything. There's so much to do in this game, but I will say I'm overall impressed with what they've gave us. When the credits rolled, I actually wanted to hit new game and start again and make different choices because of the ending I got. I just kind of wanted to do it in a different way. I'm trying to hold off on doing that because they've already announced a lot of patches are coming in, and I kind of want a few things like ironed out. Once things are ironed out, I'm definitely going to hit new game. But honestly, I feel like I'm going to hit new game anyway. I'm struggling not to turn the game on. It's that good to me. I had a blast with it. Would I recommend you buy it if you want an RPG? If you want an action game like the first game, no. Wait until you're in the mood for an RPG, because you've really got to treat it like that. All the gear you get, where it's like boosting stats, because you actually have to mess with your cosmetics in this game. It's not like Dying Light 1, where basically it was a skin that you wore. You unlocked a skin, or you bought a DLC skin. It very rarely added anything to the gameplay. In this, each part, head, wrists, hands, torso, legs, shoes, that's what the parts are. And when you equip everything, where it's like rarity and stats and stuff like that, gives you extra buffs to like defense against certain things. So you've really got to micromanage that. You've got to look in the buildings for all this equipment. You see what I'm saying? Dying Light 2 is so heavily leaned in on RPG elements that I feel like if you were going in and you want an action game, you're going to be pretty pissed. You are. As I unlocked more skills for my attacks and parkour, the game opened up heavily. It did. It really did. And it really went into its own groove. The opening, I want to say about maybe 3-4 hours ish. You do feel a little sluggish, feel a bit trash, I'm not gonna lie. You don't feel like you can do what you want to do, and the game kind of holds you back from it. But as you do, like I said, do the quests and unlock different skills, the game gets much better. The storyline, I liked it for what it was. It's nothing groundbreaking, but I definitely wanted to find out what happened next. But when you do find out what happens, it's the payoff really there. Oh, I don't know. I don't think it really worked, to be honest. But I in my head, the way something got shown in the game, I did sort of think that. I'm not going to call it predictable because it was like I was thinking it was going to do something, and it didn't do that. It did the exact opposite of that. But it still wasn't good. It wasn't bad either, though. It was just like when it got like revealed with the twist, if you will. It was like, oh, okay. I don't know how else to describe that, to be honest. The story was okay. It's definitely you definitely want to find out what happens, but just the overall finale was just like meh. All right, it was. Characters in the game, I like a lot of the characters. I think a lot of the characters are awesome. I do. And then the side missions, a lot of them are awesome, to be honest. At least the ones I did. I did a lot of challenge ones that I didn't really do. They were the ones I kind of left. Whenever I got an opportunity to do a challenge one, there was a few I did, a few parkour ones. I just kind of like left them because I was like, you know what? I don't want to do these. I'm not going to do these. But yeah, Dying Light 2 is awesome, man. I've had a blast with it. I really do kind of want to hit new game. I got to hold off, man. I got to stop myself from hitting new game. But I also will say is when you beat the game, it does give you like free roam. It does. It says it reverts some of your choices. I don't know what it means by that. Like I said, I didn't mess with the free roam stuff because I was just kind of like, I've beat the game. I'm going to leave it there, wait for a few more patches, and then I'm going to go back and hit a new game and probably go for 100% achievements. But right now, I want to leave it. It's just kind of hard because I did really enjoy it. But I don't know what it meant by that when it said it reverted some choices. So I really couldn't tell you. From what I can tell, there's no New Game Plus. I don't think there was New Game Plus in the first one anyway, but like, it would be kind of nice to take all my shit into a new game. But I guess I'd be so overpowered then, and it would kind of like defeat the purpose. But it's going to be kind of annoying going through the grind again at the beginning, but it's not too long as you do the quests. But yeah, that's my overall thoughts on Dying Light 2. Like I said, if you want an RPG, you'll enjoy it. The bugs that I came across on the Xbox Series X, so I'm on next gen, weren't too bad. Nothing like game breaking. It was just more like you'd hit a zombie and it would T-pose, or there was one where a guy was clearly talking to me, but there was nothing. He wasn't saying anything, and then my character Aiden was like saying something else to him, and I'm like, what did you just answer? He didn't say anything. So there is a few things like that that's a bit weird, but as far as like crashes, I got stuck. I jumped off a building and I rolled, like roll land so you don't get any damage, and I rolled in between like a container in a just an extra building, and Aiden was stuck. I couldn't get out of that, so I had to shut the game off. What else? Did anything else happen? Oh, there was one at the very last bit when I was doing the last boss. He jumped on top of a container and went through into the middle of the container. So he was able to like throw stuff at me, but I couldn't attack him because he was essentially inside of a wall. So I had to like self-destruct basically. I ran into some like fire or some shit and killed myself. But yeah, there's nothing really like game breaking. There's like stupid stuff like that. It was kind of irritating. It is, especially when it like sends you back so far, but it doesn't send you back that far to really whinge about it. And other than that, I can't think of anything. Zombies disappeared once so often, but it wasn't too bad. But yeah, the bugs aren't bad. The gameplay's solid. The storyline's decent. Overall, I'm happy with it, and to think they're going to support the game for 5 more years. 5 years of content. Dying Light 2 is worth every penny. Game's awesome. That's all I got, people. I'll catch you later.